Hi all, I'm going to go through one of the examples that is for applications of matrices. Let's read the question first and let's see what the solution looks like and how we interpret that one. So this is regarding three ranges and they look after cats, dogs, foxes and rabbits. The first matrix in S gives you the numbers associated with each of the ranger. So for example, Aaron citing 27 cats, 9 dogs, 34 foxes and 59 rabbits, etc. So you can read each row for each ranger, and then if you look at the columns, that gives us how many species in each category. In this case, cats 27, 18, 35, you can add them up. Now we are going to look at matrix multiplication to make our life easier, to calculate some numbers quite fast, quite quickly. Now the first one is S times B. So the B matrix is a column matrix. It is 1, 1, 1, 1, the 4 by 1 column matrix. It's one column but 4 rows. The A is given as 1 by 3, which is a row matrix. What do we get when I multiply S times B? I have done the calculations here. I have rewritten the matrix S. Of course, you can punch this into the calculator, and then I have multiplied by the column vector B. Now, when I multiply, each of these rows with the column produces the appropriate value. So the 27 times 1 and 9 times 1, 34 times 1 and 59 times 1. So what it means is simply adding all of these values during this multiplication. What does that mean? When you add these values, that is correspond to Aaron. So what do we get? We get 129 for Aaron. What it means is he is citing 129 animals. That's what it says. So if you look at the second element that produces from this product is 132, which is basically for Bara, and she's citing 132 animals, and for Chloe 116 elements. Therefore, basically the product just in here, S times B, produces a column matrix 3 by 1 that gives us 3 values for each of these ranger is the total number of animals that they are citing. How about if I were to look at or if you were to calculate the total number of animals for each type? Let's say the cats, dogs, foxes and rabbits. Obviously it's clear because you can add each of these numbers along the column down here, down the column. How do we use the matrix multiplication to do that? Well, I have the matrix A. Now what I'm going to do is, if you carefully look at, I multiply the S by the B. So S is in the front to produce that particular 3 by 1 matrix. But if I were to do with A, the A should go in the front here as 1, 1, 1, so that it is 1 by 3. 1 by 3. This is 3 by 4. Therefore, the number 3 and the number 3 exactly the same. That means the number of columns in the first matrix is same as the number of rows in the second matrix. Hence, A times S is defined and gives us values. Now, in that case, we should get 1 by 4 matrix because it's 1 and then 4, 1 by 4. For each of these animals. Obviously we have 4 animals, therefore we should get 4 values across left to right, which means it's a row matrix. So we produce A times S. If this was A, yeah, it is A. A times S gives us a row matrix. That will give us the values or the total number of animals in each type: cats, dogs, foxes and rabbits. As I mentioned before, you can easily do this one using the CAS. You can simply feed the numbers into the CAS. Here are the commands where you type the matrix and then arrow and then type the letter. You can even use lowercase or uppercase, and then you can save them into each of these variables. Then you can simply execute them using simply typing, right? And then also for A, and then A times S. These should give you the values, and then you can simply read them from the calculator to obtain the appropriate answers. So I do hope this is clear, but what we have to remember, just to wrap up, the order of the multiplication here, whether you multiply S by B or S by A by S or B by S, depending on the order of each matrix. And of course we use 1, 1, 1 matrices, row matrices or column matrices in order for us to find the total. So here we are looking at finding the total. So hope that clears up, and you should be able to now go back and revisit the work plan in 5F and work your way through. I'll see you again in another video lesson. Until then, happy learning.